going to paint my life up until this moment. I'm 45 years old. Just turned 45 last year. I'm going to paint my life up until this moment. So, join me. Black. Absence of color. White. Presence of all color. So, here's where I start. Right up here. Presence of all color. Then comes along a man and a woman. Here's the woman. This is my mom. Then comes a man. Here. My dad. And they met. And they met through college. My mom. She went to school for culinary, baking and cake decorating. My dad, he went to school for being a machinist, more of a, a blue collar trade. So, they joined together. These two here. My mom and my dad. Here I am. Way up here. Here's my mom and my dad. And then, well, my parents, they hooked up and they got married. And my mom, here she is on this side. She was very young, 21. My dad was not much older. 26. So here we go. Mom and Dad. Getting together. And it's not necessarily something that they had planned to do. When I put that water on there, that's, I suppose that's me kind of interjecting, like life interjecting. Not necessarily what they wanted to do, but it happened. So here's, man, a really good stretch of time. Here I am, way up here, in this white part, before I was born. With all presence of color. This white part. And then as we go down, we get my mom and my dad involved. Well, at some point in time, my dad noticed that My mom looked like she had a little bit of a belly on her. She found out that she was pregnant with me. And why am I putting this black on there? Well, because it's the absence of color. Things definitely changed after that. But I was born 1979. And you really can't remember anything about anything as far as when I was a child. I don't remember anything bad or good or, you know, from 0 to 5, that's hard to recollect. But come 1984, and then my brother comes along. I have a younger brother, 5 years younger than me. And he comes along. So it seems to kind of be this ideal family of a mom and a dad and a boy and a girl. It all seems to be ideal. Well, as time goes on, that was 84. Well, I have to say, let me put some good here in here. Because there was a lot of good in here. Actually, let's go back up here to the top. Here, there was a lot of good in there. See that? Yellow. There was a lot of good in there. And I'm going to keep putting the good in here. Maybe going to put some gold in here. This is not a video about loss, or this is not a video about getting in depth about really life in general. It's more of a fun kind of exercise to see the layers and see kind of where I've come from. So, mom and dad, me and brother. I'm going to put this red in here This red represents, we used to go to daycare. I used to go to a daycare, and it was like, for me, like a second family. It was a great experience. It truly was like a second family. So I'm putting that red in there for love. And that was giving beyond self. The people that ran that place, you know. I went there for 10 years as a child. So that's what that red represents. And as time went on, I'm going to add white here again. There's this transition between being a child and becoming an adult. So there's this thing that happens here. Gosh, this is really hard because this is over a period of 45 years. And I'm certainly not, you know, I'm going to run out of board. And I'm going to have to start over again. But that's going to be poignant. So here we are. Grown up. Teenager. Young adult. Branching out. Starting to disassociate, starting to establish our own selves, our own values, and what works for us. Man, the colors are quite lovely, aren't they? So, for me, this is hard to do. Here. Black. I really started to learn that you had to be a particular way. You had to compromise yourself, or you at least had to find jobs where you could be yourself. That's what I found out in my 20s. I'm 45 now. And that hasn't changed. So, here, that blackness, that lack of color, has been a theme through life. I have, let me take my little bitty brush here. I have found great joy and nature. Have found great joy in plants, animals, the way the sun hits through the leaves, the way the birds sing, and how they just make it seem so easy. Seeing a seed on the ground or a leaf on the ground. And really looking at it. And laughing at myself because it's like, the only people that makes life so difficult are human beings. Me included. All of us included. We gotta make it so hard. We gotta make it so complicated. We gotta make it so auspicious or I laugh at myself because I gotta make it so meaningful in some way, and it's just, man, those motherfucking birds and squirrels, ain't nobody giving a shit. They're just out there being birds and squirrels. So let's come up here again, way up high in the sky, and there was this hope of something. Got cats there making a lot of noise. Let's get into the gold. There was hope of this something up here. There we go. But we don't know what that something is. Yeah. So we've gotten way down here. Down here, I'm going to go in with this brown because I want to talk about being grounded. Not that I know about being grounded. But I think that there comes a point, if we're really honest with ourselves, that we admit that we just don't know what the fuck is going on. We just don't know what the fuck is going on. We keep going and we keep going. I got this down here at the bottom. To me, this represents growth. Grass. Let's put some green in there. More green, more dark green in there. At 45, definitely say The more I know, the more I don't know. And that's a really go in with some more brown. That in itself is a difficult thing because then you get into listening and watching other people, being influenced by other people. Well, as a Gen Xer, like I said, I'm 45. We didn't grow up really with that kind of, those kinds of influences. We just work. We weren't really looking for anybody for us to see, anybody to save us. Sorry, my apologies there. So I'm painting a landscape here tonight with you, and I'm talking to you about life. So way down here at the bottom, and really this canvas could keep going on and on and on, but for now, and maybe I'll do something cool, and I will do another one and do another one, and I'll stack them all up, and they'll be 8 feet tall by, I don't know, what, a foot wide, 14 inches wide, having a kind of a description as we go along. I'm going to have a lot more to talk about, within all of these layers, but so here I am down here at the bottom right now. Right here at the bottom. And it's black. Again, it's dark. It's the absence of colors. I'd like to be way up here. Way up here. Way up here high in the sky where we started. Man, I'd love to be there. And I can't say that I haven't been there here. And I can't say that I haven't been there here. And I can't say that I haven't been there here. And broken up. Here, even, let's even look back further into all these layers. All those times when I felt like I was here. So I know it's that it's possible to get there again. I know that it is. But right now I'm way down here in the dark. it's aggravating. But there is some hope. Not kittens. I guess just like what I'm doing right now, there is some hope of grace in all of this. Grace. Man, I've really been struggling with the grace, what that means and how to implement that, how to have grace, and what does it mean to have grace, and doesn't matter how old doesn't matter how old I get, I still haven't figured it out. I still keep learning. As you watch me do this, this is me blending. You heard my story. I have so many stories to tell within the story, you know. But I thought this could be a kind of a cool example of words put into motion, words put into expression through art while telling the words, while telling the story. I think that's where I'm going to go with this page. I'm not going to get too complicated with that right now, but there, so there you go. And right down here, you see, do you see this? You see the black? The absence of color. Well, here. No, I'm not ready for that. We're going to keep adding layers on. Yes, dear. we're going to keep adding those layers on. So I thought this was a very cool, fun little way of sharing myself in this video. To paint, to talk. Actually, it really excites me, so thank you for being here with me, and I will, well, we'll see you again and talk more about this, and maybe get into these layers here, and what that means for me. So, I'm Chandra. Have a good evening.